Welcome to Formosa Fauna here on Radio Taiwan International. Just this week in Taiwan, we've had very unnerving and unsettling news. I don't want to state it as fact just yet, as I think a lot of the story is still developing and the details are yet to be completely confirmed. But in general, there have been reports of people selling dog and cat meat, those dogs and cats having been snatched off of the streets, and even Taiwan's iconic and heavily protected, critically endangered species, leopard cats. For the price of one heavily protected, critically endangered leopard cat, which might have less than 500 remaining individuals in Taiwan, just 3,000 NTD, or $100. It makes me sick to my stomach to hear of this news, and I don't think anyone listening wants to hear much more. The main culprit is allegedly not Taiwanese, but had been working with some Taiwanese to obtain the animals. The victims allegedly include pets stolen from homes or yards. When there is more confirmed, I will update more. In the meantime, let me share a much better story with you. This one is sort of heartwarming and can hopefully make you and I forget a little bit about what we just heard. When I was scrolling on my phone the other day, I ran across a video from a creator overseas, I think somewhere in Europe. She said that she was walking home alone very late at night and had multiple men in cars stop and say inappropriate things to her, then speed off. She even had video evidence of it. She mentioned that she had been patting the heads of some of the street dogs outside of this train station there, and that night that she was walking alone, two of them decided that they needed to walk home with her. She was headed to her friend's home, I believe, but again, she was walking alone otherwise. The dogs walked very protectively, turning around to make sure that she was okay and sniffing out the danger for her. She walked quite a ways away. It wasn't a simple 1 to 2 minute walk. And once she got to her friend's house, they knew she was safe and they took off sprinting back to the station excitedly. It was very, very cute. The comments were all saying either adopt them or reward them with some food. And she said she took some, I think, steak to them the next day. I tried to find the video again later, but it's been lost to the web, so I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly who the creator was, unfortunately. But it is a video and a story I won't forget. A Formosan black bear was euthanized in Hualien County, Taiwan, after exhibiting aggressive behavior towards a conservation patrol and preying on local animals. The bear, identified as YNP-BB02, had been previously released and tracked by Yushan National Park headquarters as part of a research project. Between April 11th and April 21st, it was reported to have disturbed Zhuoxi village, killing chickens and preying on 4 pet dogs. On the night of April 21st, patrol members heard a dog wailing near a residence. Upon investigation, they found the bear about 50 meters away, biting a black dog. When they attempted to deter it by shouting, the bear moved aggressively towards them, prompting an officer to fire a single shot. The bear collapsed in a nearby ditch. Subsequent medical examination revealed the bear had multiple spinal fractures, causing paralysis in the lower limbs, a severely collapsed lung, bleeding, and respiratory distress. Due to the severity of its injuries and poor prognosis, the bear was euthanized by anesthesia. The carcass was transferred to the Ministry of Agriculture's Veterinary Research Institute for a full necropsy. The Forestry and Nature Conservation Agency, FANCA, expressed regret over the incident, emphasizing that the action was taken to ensure public safety and complied with the Wildlife Conservation Act. The bear's remains were sent to the Ministry of Agriculture's Veterinary Research Institute for a comprehensive necropsy. In light of the Bunun people's cultural beliefs, which consider the killing of a black bear very taboo, a purification ritual was conducted by the Zhongzhen village community. FANCA personnel attended the ceremony to show respect and expressed regret over the incident, emphasizing that the action was taken to ensure public safety in accordance with the Wildlife Conservation Act. The Climate Tipping Point Film Festival is set to commence this Friday in Taipei, aiming to raise awareness about climate change through a curated selection of international documentaries. Organized by the Green Citizens Action Alliance, the biennial event will run for 10 days at the Spot Huashan Cinema. This year's program features 15 award-winning documentaries from countries including Kenya, Uganda, Sweden, Finland, Belgium, Russia, Peru, the United States, the Philippines, and Taiwan, with 13 films making their Taiwan premiere. The festival's lineup is organized around 3 central themes: climate disaster maps, transboundary climate action, and truth about nuclear. These themes explore the multifaceted impacts of climate change, from the melting of glaciers and water shortages affecting indigenous communities in Peru to the degradation of coral reefs in Taiwan. Additionally, the festival highlights grassroots movements and cross-border collaborations aimed at fostering sustainable futures. Curator Chen Shiting emphasized the importance of visual storytelling in conveying the urgency of climate issues, stating the centrality of the climate issue is the future of humanity, and photos are the most useful thing for us to explain the situation. The festival also plans to extend its reach through a nationwide screening tour to engage a broader audience. A 2024 report by Taiwan's National Science and Technology Council and the Ministry of Environment warns that if current climate trends persist, Taiwan could experience winters lasting only 45 days by 2050 and potentially cease to have winters altogether by 2060. The report also projects that summers could extend beyond 150 days by 2040. For more information about the festival and its schedule, interested individuals can visit the Green Citizens Action Alliance website. Have you ever wondered what you should do if you disturb a beehive? Let's talk about that. First of all, if you ever do disturb a beehive, get ready to act as soon as you realize that you have hit the hive. Striking a hive or nest will likely provoke a strong defensive response from the bees. Also, remember, do not swat. Never swat at honeybees or wasps. Swatting may incite them to sting when they otherwise had no intention of doing so. Then, run from the nest. Bees and wasps can fly faster than you can run. However, the farther away you get from the nest, the less likely they will feel the need to continue to follow you. When you are stung by a bee or wasp, you are marked with an alarm pheromone, and other bees and wasps will continue the attack in response to the chemical. The intensity of the attack will continue to increase if you do not continue fleeing the hive area. Extremely defensive colonies may pursue you for about half of a mile. Cover your face and head with your shirt or jacket. Bees and wasps usually focus their attack on the head and face. Terrifying, I know. While running, pull your shirt up or jacket up over your head, leaving only a small slit to see where you are going. A honeybee will lose its stinger and die once it stings, but a wasp can sting multiple times. Then, also try to find cover. Find the nearest enclosure. A car with the windows rolled up or a building are both good options. Lastly, do not jump into water. The bees will orient to your air bubbles on the surface and will remain there, stinging you each time you come up for air. Stay safe out there, and remember, it's probably best to avoid these hives altogether. Taiwan is turning to an unexpected ally in its fight against climate change: seagrass. Despite covering just 0.1% of the ocean floor, seagrass meadows can store up to 18% of the ocean's carbon, making them a powerful tool for carbon sequestration. These underwater plants also provide essential habitats for numerous threatened and endangered species. Taiwan's coastal blue carbon ecosystem encompasses 22 seagrass beds, 43 mangrove forests, and 7 salt marshes, totaling 9,000 hectares. Seagrass alone accounts for over 7,800 hectares, representing 85% of Taiwan's blue carbon resources. However, these vital ecosystems are under threat. In Penghu's Gangzi Seagrass Protection Zone, 66.8% of the original seagrass bed has been lost due to ship dredging and harmful fishing practices. In response, restoration efforts are gaining momentum. National Chengxing University professor Lin Xingju highlights seagrass's role in preventing shoreline erosion, regulating sea currents, and protecting coasts from storm surges. Additionally, its photosynthetic capabilities aid in carbon fixation, local climate regulation, and water purification. National Taiwan University has initiated seagrass restoration and research programs. As a collaborative effort between the university's assistant professor and the Taiwan Bioscience Corporation, they are investigating optimal conditions for seagrass growth. They propose creating a gene bank using indigenous seagrass species from locations like the Prados Islands to support future restoration efforts and preserve biodiversity. Despite these initiatives, challenges do remain. Taiwan's Environment Ministry has yet to approve any blue carbon project proposals, citing a lack of standardized methodologies for calculating blue carbon. Nevertheless, with government encouragement, corporations are increasingly expected to integrate biodiversity conservation into their sustainability strategies. Taiwan is an island that is 70% covered by mountains, lakes, and jungle. Taiwan's early connections to the Pacific and Southeast Asia are well established and are the basis for seeing Taiwan as an ocean nation. Did you know that over 17,000 species thrive in the deep sea where no light penetrates the ocean waves? Or that there are 38,000 different kinds of microbes in just 1 liter of seawater? These were all discoveries made by the Census of Marine Life, a 10-year international effort that assessed the diversity, distribution, and abundance of marine life. On April 27th, a rare albino spinner dolphin was observed off Taiwan's northeast coast near Wuxi Harbor in Yilan County. The sighting was captured in a 25-second video by Whale Travel, a local whale-watching company. The footage shows the white dolphin swimming alongside its pod, briefly surfacing in the clear waters. Tour guide Lin Chengliao, who recorded the video, noted that this was his first encounter with such a dolphin in a decade. Albino dolphins are very uncommon, and their appearance near shore is particularly rare. A 2024 study by the Ocean Conservation Association estimated that approximately 50 albino dolphins inhabit Taiwan's coastal waters, with a noted increase in their population. This growth suggests that Taiwan may offer one of the most favorable habitats globally for these dolphins. Since 2019, Taiwan's Coast Guard has been monitoring white dolphins, primarily documenting them along the west coast, especially south of Changhua. Therefore, this recent sighting in the northeast is considered especially noteworthy. Taiwan's east coast is renowned for its rich marine biodiversity, making it an excellent destination for dolphin and whale watching. The deep waters close to the shore provide ideal conditions for various cetacean species. Top locations include Hualien, the most popular spot, offering frequent sightings due to its proximity to the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean, Yilan, or the Wuxi Harbor, an emerging location known for spinner dolphin sightings, Taidong, which offers tours with opportunities to see various marine mammals, although it's less frequented than Hualien. The prime season for dolphin and whale watching is from April to October, when sea conditions are favorable and marine life is most active. Morning tours are often preferred for calmer seas and better visibility. Several local operators offer guided tours. Companies like Whale World and the Kuroshio Ocean Education Foundation provide educational tours. Whale Travel is known for its experienced guides and informative trips. Tours typically last between 2 to 3 hours and cost around 800 to 1,200 NT dollars, which is approximately 25 to 40 US dollars. Not too expensive. Commonly cited species include spinner dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, Risso's dolphins, and sperm whales, although less frequent. While sightings are not guaranteed, the success rate during peak season is relatively high, often between 70 to 90%. If you do decide to go, remember to bring sun protection, such as a hat or sunglasses, and lather up with sunscreen. Wear non-slip shoes for safety on the boat, and consider taking motion sickness medication beforehand. The intensity of the waves can also differ by season. Always follow the guide's instructions and respect marine life by not feeding or attempting to touch the animals. By choosing responsible tour operators and adhering to guidelines, you can enjoy a memorable and eco-friendly marine wildlife experience in and around Taiwan. This next story is a big 180. I'm sorry, again, it is not a good day for animal news here in Taiwan. Taiwanese authorities are investigating a ship captain accused of ordering his crew to kill dolphins for use as shark bait, following a tip-off from Canadian officials. This incident, which occurred in the Northwest Pacific in June 2024, involved the illegal slaughter of protected dolphins with their meat used to attract sharks. The captain, surnamed Wu, has been questioned and released on bail of 100,000 NT dollars, which is approximately 3,000 US dollars, and he is barred from leaving the country or sailing. 7 foreign crew members have also been questioned and are prohibited from leaving Taiwan, changing their residence, or returning to sea. Prosecutors emphasize that such practices harm Taiwan's international reputation and marine environment and pledge to enforce laws against illegal fishing activities. Why do dogs get scared? Whether it's of fireworks, certain people, or certain noises, why? There are a few reasons. Just like some people are naturally shyer or more scared of unfamiliar things, dogs do come with different personalities too. Other times it's because of genetics, suggesting that a fear of said thing helped protect their ancestors however long ago. Other times it's because of a previous negative experience or because they weren't properly exposed to that stimulus during what the experts call the critical socialization period between 6 and 14 weeks old. Something I always found interesting about my dog that my family adopted when I was in kindergarten, Mickey, was that he was very defensive against men he didn't know. If 2 people who he had never seen before showed up at our house separately, he might growl slightly at the woman and then start wagging his tail when she got closer, but if it was a man, he would growl and bark intensely, like he would just not give up or give in if he approached any further. Mickey never did attack a stranger, but it was very clear that he had this sort of biased approach towards new people. And that was the key there too, new people. People who he was familiar with, he was just fine with. We ended up assuming that before we adopted him from the shelter, he must have been treated very poorly by some man. This would line up with what the dog trainers say as well. If you're going to try to deal with a fearful dog, first and foremost, it's essential that you have a strong bond with your dog. Your dog needs to trust you as you work through sensitive issues together. Exercise also helps tremendously with fears and phobias. It's not a cure-all, but can go a long way in making your dog's uneasiness more manageable. If you exercise just before training, you may be much more likely to have a successful training session. Then, the training sessions start out with a bit of exposure therapy, where you expose them to the trigger briefly and at a distance so as to not overwhelm them. If your dog is afraid of a particular person or object, don't make them get too close to it. Let the dog choose the distance they are most comfortable with. You have to go at your dog's pace. Another key factor with training is to make sure you are in control of the situation, and not that you wait for a situation in which your dog actually has to go to the place they're afraid of, hear the thing they're afraid of, or see the person or object they are afraid of. Please never punish your dog for being fearful, as it's just not the right tactic to deal with fears. In fact, it's the worst tactic to deal with fears, as your dog is likely to associate more unpleasant feelings and experiences with that trigger. Remaining calm, understanding, and patient is key to progress. Thank you for tuning into Formosa Fauna. Making it to the end of an episode makes you a Formosa Fauna friend. It's not gross, it's cute. If you have anything you'd like to share with me or other listeners, please send me an email at tristan@rti.org.tw. That is tristan@rti.org.tw. Thank you again, and see you next time, again on Formosa Fauna Fridays.